Right in the heart of a silver bullet.
Yeah. I think they plotting on man. Don't wipe their feet when they enter the lair. I feel a cold stare.
And they convince themselves that because you are the problem, that when they get rid of you, everything will be okay and they'll be happy. And they believe this so hard that for a little while it's true. They start filing for divorce, they get a separation, they're not living with you, and they're like, oh, everything's so much better. I'm great, I can date, I can do what I want, I'm free. There's not this controlling, this narcissism, whatever it is they're accusing you of, emotional abuse. They're free of that, they feel good. But what I see happening again and again to the ex-wives of the men I work with is they're like that for 6 months, a year, sometimes 2 years. Really, really good and whole and having larger than life, and then things start to collapse. Because if they haven't done the inner work to understand their role in the problems in your marriage, they're going to recreate those problems in their next relationships. The truth is that you are not the cause of her pain. You are not the cause of her pain. Her pain is rooted in things much older than this marriage.
What's good? This is about problems and being a problem. I'm gonna take what this one was talking about to explain that what goes on has been going on in society, especially in social media, is people have been a problem, but they blame other people, for them being the problem. And what winds up happening is, as she said, when those people separate, there's nobody to hide it. Case in point, what she's talking about, like the whole marriage thing, right? Marriage relationships, fine. Same premise. You have somebody who's basically helping somebody grow. And what it is you got one person who's doing a lot of heavy lifting and another person who's benefiting from them doing that heavy lifting. And what happens is the person that's doing the heavy lifting starts getting resented by the person that they're helping. So then they're this, they're that, they're, as this person is ascending because of the help, now they're starting to feel better than the person that's been helping them. So this person has been giving, this person has been taking, and this person has started to take so much that they've got on a let's just say a good level in life, and now they can quote unquote take off if they want to, right? And then it's like, oh, um, I'm getting away from this person because they're demonstrative or demeaning or this, that, and the third, or I just don't like their personality or their ways. When the truth of the matter is, you were using them to get on your feet and above and get your foot above ground. And then when you felt like you was in a good position, you gave them the middle finger and you left. Now, they didn't get anything from them helping you. You got a lot from them helping you. So now, while you gained, they took a loss. Now they're rebuilding themselves while you're running around with this story of triumph, right? And you don't want to address that you're the problem. So what happens is, now that you got on your feet or you got your foot above ground, the same habits that got you in that bad spot to begin with to need help, you start doing them. And you start going right. You now that you were up because of the help, you start slowly going down, because the problem is your behavior and your mindset, your behavior, your choices. So while as you're going down, now you're building up this new story about, oh, and it's because of this and it's because of that, because now you need somebody else to come help you again, because it becomes a pattern. And what happens is, if you start this pattern young, before you know it, you're gonna be grown, and this is gonna be your normal life. Like I know people in their 40s and 50s, they're still on that. Like it, but what happens is after that is because you're the problem, the helpers, the people who help people, they get older too, and they go and they see the signs too. And they're like, oh no, we're not doing this. So now there's less and less people to help you because when you're younger, it's different because you can blame your parents and you can blame what's going on around you. You can blame I'm trying to get on my feet and figure out life, and I got I got potential. You can put all of that into the mix, and people can understand and help you. But but when you hit a certain age, they go, no, no, no. You're a problem. You're just a user because I saw you up, and I thought you was up because of you, but you was up because of them. And then I saw you get down because of you, and I saw you latch on to this person over here until they got you, and then it got you back up, and you discarded them too, and now you back down, and now you back down again, saying the same story. You're the problem. And what happens is, how can I say that? People have to be the only one in the room to see themselves in their actions because you have to basically watch you be the problem for you. And I've seen that, like, and few people can accept it. I've seen a lot of people who are like, like, oh my God, like I'm really bad news to myself. Like you're a calamity to yourself. And then you get this, okay, now I need to attach myself to somebody. And part of this whole resentment that people are having is you're a calamity to yourself. So now you're looking to attach yourself to somebody to write your life because now you've been up and down so many times, you really know it's not the people, it's you. So, but is somebody else going to sign up to actually have to deal with your problems for life because you're not trying to fix them? And that's part of the issue about being a problem. A lot of times when you're the problem, you recreate the problem over and over and over again and you never fix it. So if you did this, and you like, because I've had those friends. It's not a big deal. It's like, okay, but then that's not a big deal. Then that's not a big deal. Then that's not a big deal. And it's like, what happened? All your not a big deals added up to bang. It just it's about to wipe you out. So then it's like, okay, my life is chaotic because I let everything slide. And it's like that's not nobody else's problem. You get what I'm saying? But since you let everything else slide and it's not a big deal, now you want somebody to fix this and fix that and fix this. Thus, that's when you see these conversations online about, it started with six figures and then it became this and it became this and it became this because these people are problems and they want, let's just say this person has $100,000 worth of problems. So I need to meet somebody who has $300,000 so they can absorb my $100,000 worth of problems, and I can finally rest. But then I can be another $100,000 problem to them. You see what I'm saying? And not dealing with the concept that nobody wants to sign up for that. And then you got to deal with you because after a while, people are trying to figure out what was your history? What did you bring to people in their interactions with you? And what people find out is you brought problems. And after a while, um, just because you're a problem and you want to be attached to a problem solver, that doesn't mean that problem solver wants to deal with all of your problems at all. And I've seen the worst thing I've seen is a problem creator be stuck with themselves and the problems that they create. And then they have an issue with society and the world because it's like they'll never fix their problems. And it becomes and that becomes the the horrible ending. You know, that becomes the ending of it. And you wind up in a situation where society separate. Because people, people say they want a better life and this, that, and the third, but you wind up in a situation where you want a better life for you by making somebody else's life worse. And you don't care that you're going to make somebody else's life worse because all you care about is making yours better. And the older you get, less and less people going to play that game. And like I've seen people get into depression and do drugs and this because you're trying to make all the bad decisions in a row to finally something, I've suffered so long from my bad decisions. Something's good has to happen. It's like, yeah, something good can happen if you stop making bad decisions. You're not going to fail your way to the top. But that's just my 2 cents on this. Tell me what you think. Catch you on the next one. Peace.